That's a clip of Tyquan Thornton that basically got released yesterday. Absolutely amazing route running, just very interesting, something you would have seen from Odell Beckham in his first couple of years on the Giants. He was really good at doing that fake kind of turnaround, I forget what they call it, but he's really good at that. And we saw an example here. That was on Terrence Mitchell, who actually, according to some folks, I have not been there, but according to some folks, has been the #1 cornerback for the Patriots so far in training camp. Completely toasted there, and once he gets that separation, the speed takes over. So the route running plus speed combo is extremely dangerous, because if you're faster than the guy and you're already ahead of him, forget about it. Now, there's some slow guys that are good at route running, and they can still get open and get catches, but there is time for the defender to catch up. Not Tyquan Thornton, who has taken dramatic steps in his route running, no pun intended, but dramatic route running steps, and has just improved dramatically throughout the entire training camp, and it's been very impressive to see. Now, Bill Belichick, the nice Bill Belichick that we've had so far this season, I don't know how else to put it, really. He's been like, something's up. I don't know what's going on, but he compared Tyquan Thornton to Randy Moss and said that he reminded him of him. And if that's not the greatest compliment you can give a wide receiver, I mean, the only thing you can say better than that is he's better than Randy Moss. I mean, I think that's the only thing that would be better than that. So it's like the second best thing you can say for a wide receiver. Randy Moss clearly being the most talented wide receiver of all time. It's just not even really a discussion, in my opinion. Just remind yourself, if you have any confusion there, go watch the highlight reels and come back and refresh your memory, because if you're thinking anything differently, then you're completely wrong and you need to refresh your memory for sure. Here's just a couple of tweets, and then we're going to get into more clips. Again, I wasn't at training camp, so I'm going based off of what other people were saying and the clips, obviously. Kari Thompson, I think that's how you say your name, said Tyquan Thornton has DBs looking high and low for him today, but no one can see him snapping off routes like crazy, and when he gets separation, forget it, gets better every day. And that's coming from August 8th, so that was 2 days ago, 1 day before the clip we watched in the beginning of the video. So things have been progressively getting better. We see this one also from Doug, I always don't know how to say his last name, like Keed, I don't know. Notice Patriots rookie wide receiver Tyquan Thornton getting more work with the first team offense today. Starting wide receiver group was already crowded with Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, and Devontae Parker getting reps with Mac Jones. Team feels Thornton has earned more snaps. Ooh, getting interesting here. Okay, so we've seen Tyquan Thornton work his way up the depth chart already. Some folks saying that he's one of the top 3 wide receivers on the team just based on the talent that they've seen in training camp. I couldn't be more excited to see him play tomorrow versus the Giants in the first preseason game. I really hope we get to see him play. If we don't get to see him play, it's because he's like literally a starter, like guaranteed. So, or there's like God forbid, an injury or something, but that would be telling if he didn't play. That would be almost a good thing, honestly. But I'm so excited to see this man play that I really just hope he does. Let's see what he's got, okay? We've heard the hype. Let's see what he's got. Has he broken the curse? The Patriots cannot draft a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds. Has he broken the curse and turned the tide? We will have to wait and see. Seems bright, though. Here's a clip. This is a really deep pass to Tyquan Thornton, and it looks as though he's jogging down the field. Mac Jones is going to have to get used to passing to a player this fast. I'm sure he has memories of doing so in Alabama, but entirely last season there was just not even a player he was throwing to that is even close to being as quick as Tyquan Thornton. So I think it's worth noting that it is going to take a little bit of an adjustment. He's going to have to pass the ball much further downfield than he would think he would have to with a player as quick as Tyquan Thornton. Really just something that we're going to need to wait and see, but you can tell that Tyquan Thornton is not running at full speed even at any point during this clip, I would say. We see the quick movements there on kind of the fake to the DB. I did quote fingers, you can't see me obviously, but obviously that's just a coach there pretending to be a DB. But we see that he fakes him off and then he basically just jogs down the field, and he's jogging pretty much faster than most players can sprint. So it's very telling. We see a lot of fast players do this, like Randy Moss, just not even running full speed, because why would I? I'm already faster than you jogging. It's honestly just a testament to how quick this guy really is. And then finally, this is one I never talked about, but this was an over-the-shoulder catch over Jalen Mills. So if you thought he's all speed and that's the only thing he's got going for him, you're completely wrong. You obviously saw the first clip, so you know that the route running is there, but also contested catches. Look at this, creating separation on an out route where the DB knows the exact route, able to create separation with his body and catch the over-the-shoulder pass in tight coverage from Jalen Mills there and get away with it. Jalen Mills just can't help but clap his hands there. What an incredible play, honestly. And we've seen the big three things that you need from a wide receiver: speed, crazy route running, and contested catches. So we know that he can at least do all three, which is very exciting to think about. Also, complete side note, is that an iPhone hanging from a string? I don't know what's going on there, or a cord. I thought that was pretty funny. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I just wanted to add on to the hype for Tyquan Thornton because I'm feeling it. Out of all the rookies, him and Marcus Jones are actually the two that I'm really most excited for. I've heard a lot of things about Marcus Jones too, that he's been climbing up the depth chart as well. For the cornerbacks, have been one of the top cornerbacks in camp. Jack Jones I haven't heard as much about, but both of them, or one or the two at least, could end up being really talented and one day being a starter on the team. Obviously, you know, we have undrafted cornerbacks all the time become starters, and 7th round picks all the time become starters, especially at the cornerback position. So it's important to note that any of those guys could really pop off because we've seen much crazier things, especially with cornerbacks. So I think that's also for sure worth noting in this situation. Now, let me know in the comments down below how excited you are for Tyquan Thornton and what you think we're going to see throughout the preseason. And also let me know, do you think he will end up getting significant playing time this upcoming season? Or do you think he's going to get a little bit less and get kind of red-shirted a little bit? I don't know. The Patriots can kind of swing either way with this type of thing. I'm trying to think what kind of players we saw this with. I think Damien Harris didn't really play a lot during his rookie season. And then we really just unleashed him after that. And I think he was also a 3rd round pick as well. So kind of like a similar area. I think Tyquan Thornton was 2nd round. But we see that these types of players sometimes get redshirted. I really hope to see him play, obviously, but I trust Bill Belichick to do what is best. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there's any other players I can think of that just really did not get to play. Oh, maybe Josh Uche as well. That's a defender, obviously, but I think Josh Uche, we didn't really see him in his first season, and I really don't think we've seen Josh Uche as much as we should as is. Like last season, what happened last season with Josh Uche? We saw him going crazy in training camp, preseason, the beginning of the regular season, like the first 6 games, and then I think he had an injury or something happened, and we like never saw him again. It's like they never let him play again, but he seemed to be one of the most dangerous pass rushers on the team outside of Matthew Judon. I really hope we get to see him play a full season this upcoming season. Here's to hoping for that. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys watching this video. Be sure to smash the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for the best Patriots content on YouTube. Hope you're excited for tomorrow's game just as much as I am. I'll see you guys in the next one.